All of us dream of that perfect relationship, that beautiful house by the ocean, and just enough money to never have to worry about it again. But is manifestation just positive thinking? Why does it work for your friends and doesn't work for you? Welcome to my channel. In this first video, I want to explore manifestation from the scientific and the spiritual sides, because ultimately, they're not opposites. They're just two languages describing the same idea, how our consciousness creates our experience. In short, manifestation is the process of becoming an energetic match to what you desire. And you do so not through effort, but through coherence. This was the answer you were looking for. You can close this video and go do other things. But if the reason you clicked on this video is because you want to finally understand and apply it for yourself, keep watching. Everything in the universe is energy. From the device you're watching this video on to this glass of water and your physical body, everything that exists is made of atoms and electrons moving at incredible speeds. What we experience as solid matter is actually condensed energy. Einstein expressed this in his famous equation that we'll show somewhere here, which is literally energy and matter are two forms of the same thing. So the difference between, let's say, light, air, and your body comes down to the frequency and pattern of that energy's vibration. High frequency usually manifests as, let's say, light and radiation, and lower frequency manifests as denser matter. Think of water. At lower frequencies, it manifests as ice, and at higher, as steam. Same atoms, but different vibrational patterns. Now here's the interesting part. In a famous scientific double-slit experiment, scientists discovered that particles behave like chaotic waves of probability until they're observed. And only then do they collapse into a specific state. So in other words, the act of observation changes what becomes real. And that's quantum physics, studied and validated by researchers for decades now. If we zoom out a little, this means something profound. The awareness itself is not merely watching our reality, but participates directly in shaping it. This is what we refer to as the 4D reality, where consciousness is the cause. So when we talk about manifestation, what we're really talking about is how your internal state, your consciousness, your emotions, and your attention influences the field of potential and how that determines your factual reality. In neuroscience, it's estimated that your brain processes millions of bits of sensory information each second, but only a tiny fraction reaches your conscious awareness. The rest is filtered out by very selective neural networks in your brain, including the reticular activating system. Let's say if you wanted to buy a car and all of a sudden you start noticing that car everywhere, which I'm sure has happened to so many of us, there is that system at work. It's not that the red Porsches weren't there before, but it's that your brain just wasn't tuned to notice them before. And that is a crucial puzzle to manifestation. Your mind is constantly filtering reality to confirm your pre-existing beliefs and expectations. So if deep down you believe that life is hard and you're unworthy of love, your brain, without judgment, will keep showing you evidence to prove that belief right. From a biological perspective, every thought you repeat reinforces a neural pathway. That's called neuroplasticity, and it's your brain's ability to rewire itself based on what you think, feel, and do repeatedly. Harvard research actually has shown that even imagining a physical action like playing piano or lifting weights can strengthen the same neural circuits as doing it, which means that your brain doesn't distinguish much between an imagined reality and a physical one. So when you start consciously reprogramming your inner model of reality, and that includes the stories you believe, the emotions you allow the most, and the self-image you hold, the filters begin to shift. You literally start perceiving opportunities that were always there, but were invisible to your previous state of consciousness. So when you feel abundance, when you feel peace and love, even before your circumstances reflect it, you're already training your brain and body to recognize that as normal. You're rehearsing a future before it happens. Dr. Joe Dispenza dedicated his life to studying this. He describes it this way. Your thoughts send an electrical signal, and your emotions broadcast the magnetic field. Together, they form your personal electromagnetic signature, the energetic blueprint that interacts with the quantum field. I'll cover more in detail what quantum field is in my next video. So when your thoughts and emotions are aligned, meaning you think one thing and also feel it, your signal becomes coherent. You're broadcasting one clear message to the field, and reality starts to reflect that coherence back to you. Let's say you want to be fit, and the emotions and thoughts that go with that reality is that you feel confident, You feel beautiful, you feel strong, you can wear whatever you like, and you feel at ease with food. An active alignment would be to train yourself to feel that way already before your physical reality catches up. To change your self-dialogue every time you look in the mirror in the now. Normally, people do this in reverse. And the reason their desires never manifest is because they wait for the proof from the physical world to start to feel better on the inside. But remember, nothing can change until you change. When your mind and body are misaligned, your signal becomes fragmented. Let's say you repeat an affirmation, I'm abundant, every single day, but your body still feels the lack. And every time you pay for something, you shrink inside. In that case, you're just broadcasting noise. And so nothing happens. That's why manifestation isn't just mental work. It also lives in the realm of emotional regulation and embodying the desired reality. It's not easy, but it is simple. Let's make this practical. Imagine two people going to the same job interview. One of them walks in very confident, relaxed, and the other one walks in anxious and rehearsing every possible failure and thinking that they're running out of money and clinging onto the opportunity that this job presents. It's the same external action, but totally different energetic states. The confident one isn't lucky, but they are coherent. Their nervous system communicates safety and allows the opportunity to come in with ease and grace, so they perceive and act in ways that align with that energy. They also know that if they don't get that job, they'll be fine. And that just won't mean a rejection, but a divine redirection. This is what I mean when I say your internal state organizes your external reality. The world isn't responding to your affirmations. It's responding to your frequency. In psychology, we call this state-dependent learning. When you're in a certain emotional state, your brain recalls information and opportunities that match it. So when you're anxious, you can't see creative solutions because your prefrontal cortex, or the part of your brain that's responsible for problem solving, is partially shut down. That's why you get your best ideas when you're in the shower or while walking outside. Your nervous system is relaxed enough for new information to enter. And manifestation works the same way. You can't create new outcomes while being biologically anchored in survival mode. You have to calm the nervous system first. That's why mindfulness, meditation, breathwork, or a simple walk outside are such amazing tools, because they get you in this state of pure well-being, which is a prerequisite for manifestation. They bring you back into coherence so you can think clearly and act intentionally. Now, if we go back to the quantum language, we could say that each emotional state is a frequency, a pattern of information vibrating through your body's electromagnetic field. When you shift that frequency, you tune yourself to a new range of potential realities. Think of reality like a radio. The song you hear depends on the frequency that you're tuned to. If you want a different song, you don't start yelling at the radio. You simply change the station. And that's what true manifestation is. It's not begging the universe for something that you don't have. It's aligning your mind and your body with the frequency of that reality where the thing you want already exists. And then allowing the physical world to catch up and take care of it. You see, our society invalidates imagination as something useless, as something only kids or leisurely daydreaming adults engage in. But sadly, we're still not able to recognize that imagination is one of the most potent tools for reality creation that nature has given us. When you imagine vividly and emotionally, you collapse one potential timeline into focus, just like in that double slit experiment. You become the observer who chooses which possibility becomes real. So manifestation is not a secret technique. It's not an esoteric theory. It is a metaphysical law. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. What you believe, what you embody, and what you emotionally are ready to receive. So instead of asking, how do I get what I want? Try asking, what energy am I living in right now? Because the energy you embody today will dictate the reality that you'll meet tomorrow. Remember, you're not here to chase outcomes. You are here to remember your divine creative power, to choose your frequency consciously, and to then watch reality organize itself in response.